Hey Oscar, you ready to do a video? You want to tell people all about NAB? Let's do it. Hey everybody, Nick and Oscar here. I just got back from NAB 2024, the North American Broadcasters Convention. It was absolutely incredible. I'm not a stranger to conventions. I've been doing them for about 10 years in other related businesses, but I'd never done one that was just for camera tech before. And I'm just like a kid in a candy store when it comes to this kind of stuff. It was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. I got the opportunity to go with my wife, who assisted me with some of the shooting and coverage, and it was just amazing all around. Las Vegas is such a crazy, interesting, unique place. We got to go to the Sphere, which was awesome. We ran into Eric D. Haven at the Sphere, just randomly in line. And I was there for pretty specific reasons. As you know, this channel isn't just a general filmmaking technology type of channel. It's really something of a diary. I'm in the middle of making my own feature film that I wrote and am directing. And so this channel is all about that process, basically from my perspective, mostly to help me understand it, but also to help illuminate it for others who might be interested. I'm gonna do two videos about NAB. This one is gonna be the general video. So there's a wide variety of exhibitors that go to NAB. It's all across the entire broadcasting space, from the capturing of images to the distribution, transmission, etc. But the bulk of it tends to be camera, lens, lighting, gaffing, grip sort of technology, or very cinema production related tech. And I was there for a couple of really specific reasons. And to tell you about those, first I want to back up just a minute and tell you about how we shot the first 10 pages of my film, The Game of Life, which we did the weekend before NAB. So we shot those first 10 pages, and then we're taking a break so I can do some more pre-production, and then we're going to go shoot the rest of the film a little bit later. But those first 10 pages were shot almost exactly as you see this camera rigged up here. The Red V Raptor X, my little plastic fantastic handles, small rig battery. It was usually plugged into mains power as well, and very often with this Canon 50mm CNE lens on the front. I love this lens. We shot it wide open quite a lot of the time, and I love the look that that lens gives, especially, you know, large format, 50mm, T1.3, wide open. It's a very nice, sort of dreamy, shallow depth of field look, but the field of view is very sort of matter of fact. 50mm on large format is close to the field of view of your own eyes. So that was there a lot of the time. The rest of the time we were supplementing with the Nisi Athena lenses, especially if we wanted to go real wide, like 14mm, which we did on occasion, or 24. There were some shots on 24. But that was our sort of symphony of lenses there. But something I was really interested in at NAB was to get some more hands-on experience with a variety of other lenses. There were several sets that I was really interested in testing, none more so than the Atlas Mercury and Atlas Orion anamorphic sets. There are some things about those sets that really speak to me. And coming away from the show, I was even more in love with the lenses than I had been previously, and really, really like the company and the people behind it and what they stand for. And to a person, everyone at the Atlas booth had good things to say about their own company and their own experience working there. So all signs point to me trying to shoot a bit more of the remainder of the film on Atlas if we can. You know, some people might say, whoa, you're gonna have such a big jump if you go from shooting the beginning on spherical and then you go move to these other lenses for the different section of the film. That's not gonna be a problem. Let me worry about that, and I'll show you the finished product when it's done. But anyway, this video is not gonna be so specific about Atlas. It's gonna be about everything else. And then I'll have a second video that is just all about Atlas, including a really cool interview with their founder, Dan Keynes. But okay, what did I go to see at NAB? We saw a lot of lenses. Like I said, we're shooting a lot on the Nisi Athena lenses, but I was interested in seeing, okay, what happens if we make the jump up to something even just a little nicer, like the Sigma full-frame primes, which open up to T1.5, or the Zeiss Supreme primes, which also open up to T1.5, but are a little bit more refined in some ways. So we tested out a bunch of lenses, and I came away, I think I would really like to try shooting some of the rest of the film on Mercury lenses, although I really like blue flares, and the Mercury's flare amber. And so I talked to Dan about whether he might consider making a special set of blue flare Mercuries at some point in the future. Whether it will happen, I don't know, but that would probably be my dream, to shoot on those lenses. Atlas Mercury blue flare, that would be my jam. I would make those lenses mine. Short of that, I will probably be sticking with what I've got, which is the Athena set, supplemented by the 50mm CNE. Those are great for a number of reasons. And so that leads me to the second thing I was really interested in seeing at NAB, which was the DJI booth. So they just launched not only their new Ronin 4 and their Avata 2 drone, but the new Pro Focus system, which consists of a second-generation LiDAR unit, upgraded motors, a new sort of brain, which is basically like the gimbal without the camera mounting portion of the gimbal, and a hand unit. And the piece that I am the most interested in is actually that hand unit. Because what it can do that no one's really talking about is that if you set it up in traditional manual focus mode, right, where you're just using the handle to pull focus wirelessly across your motors, you can set your A/B points, and when you hit those points, the motor will engage its magnets to stop you from accidentally moving further, but it won't prevent you from doing so if you want to fight the magnets. That, to me, is a killer feature. They're talking about that in terms of its autofocus capabilities. They go, hey, if you turn on assisted manual focus, AMF mode, and you get to the focus point, it'll stop you there and then resist you if you try and go away from that, like a rubber band. And that's great. But most cinema production is going to be done using fully manual focus. But setting A/B points is often very critical. And if you use hard stops to do that, like traditional follow focuses, you can set with little screws and it'll stop here and it'll stop here. But then, if your subject moves a fraction of an inch one way or the other, that hard stop may prevent you from following them. But with the DJI system, that hard stop is not a totally mechanical limit. It's just a magnetic suggestion, basically. You get there, it wants to stop, but you can say, oh, hey, my subject moved 3 inches closer, let me keep going. So to me, that is the killer feature of that, is the magnetically assisted hard stops, which are not hard, they're suggestive, I guess. So the magnetic suggestive stops, that's what had me the most interested. So that's something I will definitely be looking at as we go into the production of the remainder of this film. Another thing I was really interested in, and this is going to be really boring, but it's important, is power. So we've been using small rig batteries because that's what I had, and they were giving me a big problem, which is that they could not actually unload the amperage that they were stated to have been able to unload. When I had them powering the V-Raptor, which draws about 65 watts, they could not also power the focus motor. It took a little while to figure out, and unfortunately we didn't get it sorted on set. What you do when you get a problem like this is you troubleshoot for a couple of minutes and then you have to say, okay, we're scrapping it, move on to something else. So we pulled the wireless follow focus and switched to fully mechanical solutions, which introduced other challenges. You know, if you want a first AC pulling focus, he's got to really crowd that camera operator. Or if you want the camera operator to pull focus, then he's got 2 jobs to do and can't do either to the best of his abilities. Either way, we got through the shoot, that's okay. But I was really interested to figure out a better power solution. And so I was looking at the different options there. You know, there's plenty of great battery manufacturers that were there at NAB. But serendipitously, I got an email from SmallRig with a survey about the batteries. And so I told them about the problem I'd been having, and they upgraded all of my batteries to the new VB99 Pro model, which is the same capacity. It's roughly the same size. It's a tiny bit taller. It has a little more connectivity, but critically, it has much more reliable output. And so now with this battery, I'm able to power the V-Raptor and a focus motor and an external monitor all at the same time, and potentially also the gimbal. But I'm not sure I'd want to power all four of those off of one 99 watt-hour battery. Anyway, the point was, now the new VB99 Pro works for my purposes. And so I didn't need to go out and spend another $1,000 on batteries. Although I'm really interested in the new Core SWX PowerEdge Snap system, especially for smaller rigs. Like, so here's my R5C currently rigged up with the VB99, and it's powering all this stuff, right? The camera, you can put a focus motor on, it's powering this Hollyland wireless monitor, and it does that all easily. And you can even plug the battery into mains and it will charge and continue to power at the same time, which is awesome. So you can have it plugged in, and then if you need to move, you just yank it and you've got however much capacity is on the battery. So I know this is kind of a weird setup. I've got the battery right on top of the handle, but this keeps everything real nice and compact. It will balance here so it doesn't tip over if it's on a flat surface. It even has my little 32-bit wireless audio receiver here. So this is a really handy run and gun setup, and can easily be stripped down and go on a gimbal and so forth. Not quite the dynamic range of my V-Raptor X, but a really great setup nonetheless. And the new VB99 Pros are really helping to make that all work. So shout out to SmallRig for excellent customer service. They swapped out 4 VB99s that weren't working up to spec with 4 VB99 Pros at no charge. They showed up at my house in like 2 days, and that's gonna have me covered for the time being. If, you know, we have any more problems, watch this space. We may end up switching to Core or something like that, but for now, those are powering our solutions and they're awesome. So, looking ahead to the remainder of this production, I am super happy with these setups. I just adore the V-Raptor X and the images that it produces. I had such a great time on set with my crew. I'm gonna do a separate video about that and them because they were just awesome and they deserve individualized attention. But NAB was just so cool for so many reasons. So we saw lenses, we got a lot of great experience with those. We saw power solutions, we saw the focusing stuff from DJI, and just so much more. There is just so much cool energy at NAB, so much interesting, amazing new things to see. We saw lots of virtual production setups. We saw lots of lighting equipment, lots of really cool grip and gaffing gear, the biggest techno cranes and dollies you could imagine. And it's fun because at the end of the day, everyone is there to serve the creative process, right? And there's something I heard Zack Snyder say once that I just loved, which is that, you know, you hand this camera and this lens to 100 different people and they'll take 100 different pictures with it. And that is a beautiful thing. So wherever your journey takes you or whatever your process is, it's a beautiful thing that it is yours. And so that's what I'm trying to pursue with this film. I'm really excited to go forward with it and watch this space for a little bit more information on Atlas lenses because darn, they're really cool. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.